Yes, yes, Sir Hairless here. It seems Christmas time is here because we have yet another Pentatonix Christmas song, and we sort of get a two-in-one. This is Pure Imagination and Christmas Time is Here. Pure Imagination I know from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, of course. Just gave it a few listens. What a lovely, magical song. Christmas Time is Here. Now, I did not know that song by name, so I googled it, found a version to listen to, made sure it was the original version, which is quite nice and peculiar, and, you know, little kids singing slightly out of tune. And I definitely do recognize it. I do recognize it. I'm not sure where from though, because I never watched Peanuts or Charlie Brown when I was younger. Anyway, I think the choice of putting these two songs together is great. Loads of comments I received recommending this arrangement used words like nostalgic and beautiful. So I'm really excited to see what they do here with it, how they mix these two songs. Let's dive straight on in.
Christmas time is here, happiness and cheer, fun for all the children call their favorite time of year. Snowflakes in the air, carols everywhere. Olden times, ancient rhymes of love and dreams to share. Sleigh bells in the air.
So magical. There's, oh yeah, wow. I just paused here. There's a really high line we just heard in Mitch. Really subtle at the top, completely contrasting these bum, bum, bum arpeggios we're getting absolutely everywhere underneath. It's like we have sustained music at the top, really magical. It up with the clouds, with the fairies. Then the melody underneath in Kirsty now, Mitch before that. And then underneath these arpeggiated broken figures that build up gradually, sustain, stop, build up again. Kevin not giving any percussion, so we have him, an extra voice in there to really help with this idea of building up. Matt's bass is of course exaggerated in between the arpeggios.
Fun for all the children call their favorite time.
And because of the nature of the arrangement, we do have a lot of stop starting, which means when we stop, we have silence, and silences in music are powerful. And in turn, when we get singing, they're also more powerful, so you don't really need to do as much. That's why Mitch is singing how he's singing. I'll touch on that in a bit, I'm sure. Look, we'll do our first pause here. You know the drill by now with copyright, etc. Also, quickly, there is a live Vivo performance of this. I know because a lot of you have recommended me to listen to it. You bet we'll be watching that too after this reaction. Scott, I just need you to not be in the frame for a second. And that will be linked below if you want to watch that in the pinned comment. It will be over on my Patreon along with all the other additional Pentatonix stuff that we've done in addition to these YouTube videos. Right, it's a very, 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 very juicy arrangement. What makes these arrangements so juicy? Well, many things. Let's just go back to the beginning. So we get these unison lines. And then as soon as it splits into harmony, it's the lines in the middle, the really subtle, almost hidden lines that I think are, they essentially create the funky harmony. Because loads of comments said that this is a really juicy one, I guess maybe naturally I was focusing on listening a bit harder to these such lines. The first one that immediately caught my attention was Scott. Let's see if you can catch it. A chromatic descent, it doesn't really sound like Scott too much. It's sung in head voice, but logically it has to be Scott because of what everyone else is singing. So let me just show you the chords that we get there. The first bit of harmony. So we follow this. And then Matt's part at the bottom. Kevin's part above that. So those two parts together. And then Scott with this chromatic. And Kirsty is just sustaining that at the top. So if we put them all together, I'll play the chords one by one, even though Kirsty is just sustaining. Oh, you know, you can hear the juice. And Mitch, of course, is above going. And then Matt's bass line right after that. Falling down to that bottom F, we have those chords that I just played, also falling, preceding this falling, including Scott's chromatic line hidden in the middle, really nicely setting Matt up for this. Why I'm focusing so much on this idea of falling, well, what does the melody do? It does the complete opposite. Repeating a rising phrase, and then when it arrives at the top, it keeps kind of trying to fall, failing to fall, trying to fall, failing. It does that a few times and then finally falls. Classic suspension there in Scott's part again. Again, it doesn't really sound like Scott. He's using a very heady voice rather than the usual chesty, fuller sound. See if you can catch that suspension. Scott's part is going. So the suspension. But he doesn't just go. That would be too boring for him. He does a little trill. Yeah, there's loads I could talk about, really. I kind of just want to listen to more of it. The obvious thing now, Mitch's melody. Need I say anything, really?
Snowflakes in the air.
You just want to sing along. You know I love an airy voice, you know it. Whenever I talk about airy voices, the clip that I use is my favourite song by Dimash, Ikenayde. And I love how Mitch starts with Christmas time. We've just been hearing Pure Imagination, and he even has that first k sound, because you think he's going to say, come with me.
Christmas time is here.
The swelling of the chords. I was mentioning earlier how we have a lot of silences, and silence is powerful. That swelling, that growth in each chord. Also, these chords we're hearing, they're not perfect chords. They're dissonant. They sound unresolved. So somehow this feeling of incompleteness in a weird way. It's weird to say because this is such a complete arrangement. I think it's really, really cool from what we've heard so far. But somehow I think it just adds to the magic of it. Let's carry on.
In the air, beauty everywhere. Yuletide by.
Sorry, quickly, I didn't really touch on the bum-bum-bums earlier, but now, instead of just bum-bum-bum and sustaining, we're getting so much syncopations in the bums. Bum-bum-bum-bum-bum. It's really fun listening out to it.
Everywhere. Yuletide by the fireside, and joyful memories there. Christmas time is here. Families drawing near. Oh, that we could always see such spirit through the year.
If you wanna view.
Yeah, super nice. And the video complements it so well. It's really dreamy. It seems ethereal, not quite real, doesn't it? It's funny how our brain works when we listen to it. At the time of recording this, I don't know when my Christmas videos will come out, in which order, copyright, all that kind of stuff. But I've recently recorded a few things with Avi in them. So as I was listening to Matt's bass line there, I was just thinking Matt is really well suited for this arrangement. I've often said he just sounds like an instrument in a way, just this kind of smooth, completely different texture and timbre of voice to Avi. Avi's voice, I think, is much more unique. And Matt's bass line is just so good. Earlier, I touched on how he was falling down, but now he's doing the opposite. He's rising up as the arrangement is becoming a bit louder and larger. He does a nice sync there. Whoa, boom, you know, that kind of thing. And now he's going to be rising. chromatic, do, but then to jump out of the chromaticism, he goes, do, 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 do. And then he continues up, I think, and then comes back down.
If you want,
Boom, 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 boom. It's really tough demonstrating both Mitch up there and Matt down there. But yeah, we can see the fluidity in just the bass part, for example, how it really helps to keep the arrangement just open and sounding so full. Of course, we've still not had any percussion, so Kevin is just an extra voice throughout the whole thing, which is not too commonplace. Yeah, sure, with multi-tracking and layering, you can do that whenever you want, really, with studio versions, but by actively refusing to have, or rather choosing not to have, any percussion for the duration of the arrangement, that's a conscious choice, which really says something about the arrangement itself. How long is left? There's still another minute or so there could be, I guess, but I will guess that there isn't any. If you enjoy these videos or find them helpful, please consider supporting me. Patreon has a bunch of exclusive benefits, behind the scenes videos, additional reaction content, Q&A videos, and more. For a one-time donation, you can donate me a hot chocolate at the Buy Me a Coffee link, or become a YouTube member for these groovy emojis and membership badges. And a huge thank you to these lovely people on the screen now. Speaking of multi-layering, I went to come and listen to this bit because Mitch is doing the classic melody. And on the top, we have this line. It really sounded like Mitch when I was first listening to it. But listening back, it's definitely Kirsty. I think there's just the tiniest timbre difference in this example between Kirsty and Mitch's more kind of strained falsetto sound, which is just another great example of how seamlessly Mitch and Kirsty's voices can blend together and can be interchangeable when they want them to. I just find it so fascinating because if you take an average woman and an average man, there are many biological differences between them, resulting in the difference in range and type of sound. So it's so fascinating when you really struggle to differentiate between Mitch and Kirsty. I've said it many times. I will say it many more times. I think that's just such a key component to Pentatonix and their sound and why they're so successful. Scott working in parallel harmony, but kind of down an octave. Very open sounds, wah, oh, and what happens? Moving to a closed sound. So, I'm listening to that thinking, oh, okay, are things getting a bit quieter, a bit softer? And then Scott comes through with this.
if you want,
And that's where we got to. So let's carry on. I think, yeah, there's about 1 minute left, so we should play till the end.
a view paradise. Simply look around and view it. Anything you want to do it. Want to change the world. There's nothing to it. Come with.
Sorry, I said I'd play all the way through. Just a little appreciation pause. I don't know why I really liked that. The little ritardando slowing down, everyone else removed, the whole rhythmic structure, again, because Kevin is not there giving us this percussion. He's not there like a human beat machine for everyone to keep time to. The whole construct of rhythms and everyone staying together is thrown out the window. It makes it very dreamlike.
Simply look around and view it. Anything you want to do it. Want to change the world.
It started.
There's nothing to it. Come with me
Christmas time.
and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly wish to be.
Well, that was a really nice arrangement. I'm not going to be negative about anything, but I think my least favorite part of the arrangement was the ending. One, maybe I just didn't want it to end. Two, I thought it came about a little bit quickly. And Mitch, you know, he's adding in some runs. I think he went down to there or something. I don't know, maybe the ending will grow on me. Let me know your thoughts. Yeah, really nice arrangement. And this counterpoint we get between Scott and Mitch with their separate respective melodies of the two songs. There was one bit with a bit of dual chromaticism in there, which was just so nice. Really dissonant chord there.
Living there, you'll be free if you truly.
So good. And for some reason, I'll play it again.
If you truly.
And then Scott's melody, truly, going up the octave there. In my head, I was just thinking,
If you truly.
Scrumptious.
that truly is not even an octave jump. It's not 8 notes an octave, it's 6 notes up. But in the right musical setting, our brains can adapt and, you know, slightly adjust melodies.
If you truly.
Scrumptious. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's just got me in a very 60s, 70s classic films kind of vibe. Willy Wonka, 71. Christmas Time Is Here was from the mid-60s, I think, with a Christmas special of Charlie Brown. Chitty Bang Bang, 1968.
Come with
Christmas
me,
time.
and you'll be in a world.
I am just so curious to see how they do this live. Will they choose to have any multi-layering in there? Compared to some of their other arrangements, this arrangement, in my opinion, again, just based on how many voices we're hearing it every time, is one of those arrangements where I think they could perform it live and it would sound fairly similar. There's not too much reliance on multi-layering it in the sense of there being like 10 different parts. Yeah, sure, they're doubling up on parts. Occasionally we hear another part like Mitch singing really high or something. But overall, I think it really is something that can be done with 5 voices. So we're going to go and listen to that Vivo one. Once again, if you want to watch that with me, then link will be in the pinned comment. It goes to show how by removing percussion, the sound, 5 voices versus 4 voices can, well, there's just so much more opportunity for all this harmony and rhythmic interestingness between parts. And again, I think it goes without saying just how much of an asset Kevin is, how he can just not beatbox for a song, fit in perfectly, blend so well, and they produce something like this. Really, really nice arrangement that, and I look forward to listening to it many more times. But first, the live version. If you made it this far, hopefully you enjoyed. Would really appreciate a like, a comment, suggestions for next year Pentatonix Christmas things to do. If you don't want to write any words, then we'll go for the emojis on screen now. How about some candy, some sweets, some sugary delights, just as if we're in Willy Wonka. Hope you're having the best festive season, and I'll see you in the next one.